Boom. If I do that and then do this, we should be good to go, right? Everybody in the world of TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, we're live everywhere. Let me know if you can hear me, because that's always the fun part, is making sure that the audio is right for everybody. Sin, are you playing music in
No.
Opus? You should do that too, so we could test. TikTok. What the?
Loud.
What? Apparently, we're listening to some Slim Shady. Hey, what's up, everybody? So, it's Friday, but we're not doing Adventures from Mammoth, as you can tell. So we got an advanced episode of Floating Isles of Atheria tonight, episode 5.
5?
Yeah, I think so.
You did 10.
It's 5. I just did it with both hands. It's a happy 5. When you like pull one hand away just to make sure I don't accidentally confuse people. People know how to count to 5.
I mean,
some people know how to count to 5.
Today's education system, doubtfully.
So yeah, and then which means that obviously we're not going to be doing this tomorrow too. Unless
I mean, sin.
Which means that next week we'll be back to Amethyl on Friday, and then I think we do have Atheria on Saturday. So yeah, so little chip choppy of the schedule here, but it's fine. I don't have it on here. Actually, it doesn't really matter for this. We got to figure out interactions for here still, if we're gonna do them or anything. I do have it set up with interactions for Amethyl, so then that way if we get 100 likes on TikTok, it'll do Golden D20, and then obviously the normal interactions on Twitch and YouTube. I need to have a different camera for each one of the streaming platforms. That way, like, if I'm talking to Twitch, I could look right here and have it, and then like TikTok, and then like YouTube. That'd be kind of great. But yeah, so that's all I got administrative wise, though. Now Christina said that she wants to do recaps, so I'm gonna let Christina do recaps.
I said no such thing, but okay. So what I can remember from recap is that at the beginning of the episode, Ignis and Lumino decided that they were going to fight due to the way that Ingrid had decided to treat poor little Luna, and then allowing the little healer, I forget what she was, her name, into the room. And then after that, we all have a heart-to-heart in Ignis's room about our upbringing, and some of us were offended by some of the things that were said. And then we landed. We were lucky to meet Ignis's uncle. Seemed like a dapper fellow. And then Ingrid was relieved of his duty for Ignis, and it looks like he is going to be hitting off with the uncle, or possibly the person he was talking to. And that is everything I can remember.
I mean, that's most of it.
and then Luna and Lumino went into town, got ice cream. Lumino got new clothes. We were trying to find our way to Aquaria proper, where the capital is. Where, hang on. I have my scale down to 70%, so I gotta where Barrows wants to talk with Ignis so they can get them back on track and head to Celestia. And we tried to find a ship at the docks. He wanted a plat for a week's worth of travel. He's just a fisherman. That's a month worth of his pay. Not worth our time. We're gonna walk. And then we're starting to walk.
Yeah. Definitely didn't miss any details.
I got some of it.
I want to give half an inspiration.
I don't think that works.
Wait,
That's
I
where
need
you
the
gotta have
character sheet
something
out.
like golden D20s, where then you can just give one of those. Like, all right, one of you can use this.
I'll say the party has one shared inspiration. That seems fair.
Give it to chat view.
So, you all walk out of what's this place I called Pearl Bay. You walk out of these not too high stone walls that surround the. Don't want to say city, a little bit bigger than a town area, and start walking on this mainly beachy path. There is a stone path with detailed tiles that lay out the main path westward. Left and right of you, mostly all you can see is palm trees. The little glimpses you get through the palm trees show the ocean, the floating water that surrounds you. Seagulls overhead, cool breeze as you walk, sounds of distant waves and waterfalls. And you start your journey to possibly make it to the mainland of Atheria.
And just for my knowledge on this one, as we're walking, even though we're on like these floating islands and all this, like as we're walking through this sort of tropical landscape and able to see the water through the trees, like it would just look like a normal island, right? Like we don't actually, we can't tell we're on a floating island from here.
The only time you would be able to tell you're on a floating island is on some of the islands. Depending on where you're standing, there's elevation differences between the islands.
How does that work with the water?
With the water, there's not that much different elevation. You kind of noticed it on the stray island that you were on before. Looking off in the distance, you've seen Celestia floating off in the distance. But right now, where you guys are, the surrounding area is too vast for you to really see any kind of drop off or anything like that.
Okay. So for all intents and purposes, for us walking, we just look like we're on an island. A regular island, not a floating island.
Yep, an island on an island.
Yo, dog, heard you like islands.
The hell? Is that a water bottle? So I don't want to assume, but Lumino, you're probably going to take care of rations during the trip.
I'm going to be doing my 5 people's worth of rations every day for the 2 people that actually need rations. So I think that we should be good on that as long as everyone likes fruit and tropical grazes.
I could say something that I'm not going to say.
Then Ignis and Luna, what are you going to be doing during the day's travel?
Oh shit! I gotta think about this. This is the first time we've actually traveled.
Not really. Ooh,
You-
pretty.
Yeah, sometimes the path is real windy. Sometimes it goes real close to the water's edge, and you just have like a pretty much a beach walk. And sometimes it cuts more inward.
Okay. Uh, I'd say I really wouldn't be doing much. I can't really think of anything, at least.
All right. Luna, what are you going to be doing throughout the day's travel?
If we are going to be walking along the actual like beach shoreline, then I am going to be. I'm pretty sure we're going to be taking breaks. So during the times of breaks, I'm most likely going to be fishing, or just making like soups and stuff for everyone, if possible. As well as just like getting clean drinking water for everyone if necessary.
Okay, give me a survival roll. Also,
Question two: is this salt water or is this fresh water?
salt. With your recent level up, Luna, you have a higher bonus with nature and survival now. It's higher, but yeah. Yeah, you can get fresh water for everyone to drink and stuff like that, but the fish don't really seem to be biting.
Oh, that's not fair.
Ignis, give me a perception roll. 4.
Yeah.
You notice the ocean wind, the breeze has been really uncomfortable for you.
Also, in for clarity, my Wanderer feature says that I can find food and fresh water for yourself and 5 other people.
Maybe I just want to be useful.
Perfectly fine. I just wanted to make sure that I put that out there that, like, we should never be in a scenario where we don't have fresh water too. I don't know how in a saltwater island we're getting fresh water while walking down a path, but we can.
Lumino just how happens to look to the left, and there is a rain catching just conveniently set up that he finds that no one else can find.
It's like right here.
So yeah, as you walk, you notice the entire party notices one by one multiple ships seem to be heading in the direction that you guys are. Not really much heading in the opposite direction, but following your guys's.
Do we see other people walking the path too?
Ahead of you, there's a little bit of a group walking.
Like the same direction we are, or
Yeah.
towards us? Okay.
And if you look behind you, way off in the distance, you do see another small group walking in the same direction.
Okay. So
But,
everybody's making a pilgrimage to Mecca. No one's coming home from there.
Yeah, you notice that like no one is walking opposite direction of you.
Okay.
Really not eventful most of the day. Just lots of sunlight. The breeze is just a constant in your face. And the sun starts going down. Not really many structures or anything along this path that you guys can see. But the sun is going to start hitting the what is it? The ocean line soon, the horizon. And about this time, you guys might start thinking about making camp somewhere, or are you guys gonna start like push on through the night?
I'm gonna pause for a second and reload because I'm seeing your mouth move, and then a second later, hearing you speak. I'll be right back.
So from what I understand, we're not like on any dire timeline or anything. Like, if they wanted us there faster, they probably would have had someone come get us, is what I'm assuming.
Yeah, the only kind of timeline you guys got was from Ignis's uncle saying that Barros wants to see him.
Okay. Because if there's no like real dire urgency to it, I don't see a reason to push through the night like forced march or anything. So I would be keeping an eye out for like, is there any time where the path like pulls away from the water, like cuts more inland or anything like that, or is it mostly following the shoreline the whole time?
It's a few miles on the shore, a few miles cutting in, and it's like kind of windy.
Okay. So I would probably try to keep an eye out for like once they start noticing the sun going low and that we've been walking for a while, having traveled with these two for a week or about a week now. I kind of get the idea when they're getting slowed down and like when it's time to rest. So let's see. Try to see if I can find any area where it would be a decent place to make camp. Kind of, my thoughts are like keeping it away from the water, keeping it far enough off the path that like we're not impeding anybody who is making the travel, but also that like no one can run up on us real quick without us being able to see them coming. So that's my thoughts, at least.
Yeah.
Sure.
The heck was that?
For Christina.
Okay.
I forget that it pops up on everything. I'm trying to, share it to chat, but it's harder for me to do that than you guys, apparently.
Yeah. You guys left midday, so you're not really like seeing any like designated areas that people have been using for rest. You did pass up one along the way, and it looks like people have just been resting like in the shrubbery that's surrounding the palm trees, like on both sides of the pass. They just cut in a little bit and clear a little bit of it away. And yeah, if you do the same thing, cut off into the foliage a bit, you can get a pretty good campsite and have it be a little bit surrounded.
Okay. Yeah, that would be the plan.
So sun goes down and Lumino finds you guys a pretty good sleeping area.
And I'll make sure that it's like right next to a large tree somewhere.
That's what I was thinking about, but we're probably like nothing but palm trees. It's not gonna
Yeah,
be a
there's
whole lot
not a
of
lot of
room.
branches.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm not opposed to sleeping with everyone. I just prefer the trees.
And as you guys are setting up camp, as the sun completely sets, two moons arise, the water in the sky starts giving off a reflection of the purple hue.
I wasn't prepared this time. Alright, so I need to
I have this
execute it.
issue. I have this issue even at my computer at home. It spawns the box for this so big.
Yeah. I need to figure out a way to like share it, but then also make it where it goes to the right area. Alright, here we go.
So you guys camp, set up camp. Luna, you said you're staying around everyone this time?
Yeah, due to there not being a good place to perch at on the trees.
Is anyone doing anything over camp at night?
What type of wildlife is here?
The entirety of your travel so far, you've seen like crabs, a few turtles making their way across the path. Lots of birds, some of them that don't really seem like they belong in this area. But no real like big mammal types.
Well, the birds are specifically of interest to me. So, like anywhere, like if we had a moment where we weren't doing anything, I would be probably with the pouch full of seed that I have, like trying to coax some of the birds, and if left to my own devices on there, you all would probably see me kind of out to the shrubbery, like talking to the birds.
Now, is this something that you have done multiple times with just birds, or is it the first time we'll be seeing this?
No, so it's not just birds. It's really any of the little woodland creatures. This would be the first time that you're probably seeing me talk to them, though.
Okay.
But you've seen me with the bird seed before.
I'm just gonna keep an eye on you. Not do anything, just watch.
Yeah, I mean, from a distance, all it would look like is just me, like feeding the wildlife, little rations and, like I said, seeds that I have in my the pouch in my left hip.
You could give me a animal handling if you want.
Sure. It was almost really good.
It takes you a little while to get any of the wildlife to like come and partake in what you're doing, but after some perseverance, one finally flies up to you and like perches on your arm and starts feeding out of your hand, and after a while a second one, and if you like remain still as you're trying to feed, You get a few every now and again.
So that's all you would see from that.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure we've been eating like here and there during the path. So I think right now I'm mostly just going to take an inventory and see what I have and like if there's anything else we really need. And then after like figuring out what I have, I will probably go for a swim because I do not remember the last time I was able to take a bath.
Just remember it is salt water.
I mean, it's water, so I'm gonna get cleaner.
Yep. For your cooking stuff, you have a decent supply still, but Lumino has been supplying as you're traveling a lot of the rations. So no supply has been touched really. And as you guys
I hate being close to my camera, but everything's so tiny. Everything's so tiny, and I'm reading one of my traits. I'm like, oh, I get this spell at 3rd level that I can just cast. But how? Okay.
Must be nice.
As you guys are all like tending to your own businesses, you do still see the path not too far away, and it looks like a lot of people are still like pushing through the night.
Is anyone else at camp, or is this just while everyone's gone and I'm just sitting at camp?
It's throughout most of the night. Like once every few hours, a group passes by.
I wonder what the rush is to get off here, this island.
Who are you saying this to?
If he said this happens every so often, I would wait till everybody's back at camp after I've seen a few groups pass, and not just one stray group.
Yeah, I'm assuming at this point in time I'm already back at camp, just kind of like lounging around.
This would be when hopefully everybody's at camp at once, but not yet sleeping. As much sleep as some people get.
If you say that out loud, I would say, given the fact that we're on an island, it may have something to do with the weather. This close to the water, things could change for the worse quickly.
Yeah.
Does my island have water?
I get that. I don't really. I don't really want to be here if that happens. But same time, it is what it is. I don't really want to keep pushing. We have no specific rush. If Barros was in a real hurry, he would have sent a ship specifically for us.
Well, I'll move at your pace. If you want to keep going, we can.
No, we can take our time. There's no real point to keeping on pushing.
Ignis, where did you go?
Turning around.
And I do want to recant, so I am going to be taking 1 share of rations for myself, which is going to be for me to make more birdseed and whatnot for.
This guy already starting problems. Here, I thought I was eating good tonight.
I mean, I can still do for 5 others and myself, so we're just not going to have 6 people worth of rations, only 5.
Okay, so upon hearing Lumino mention that he thinks it's dangerous, I'm gonna kind of look at you guys puzzled but not really say anything. Given the fact that I would know like water and stuff, but it's more like a lake than it would be an ocean would it be compared to here. And I'm just when you originally asked Ignis, I'm just gonna kind of shrug and not really have much to say on the topic because I don't feel like, given my experience, I would have a whole lot to give to this.
Yeah. Just thought.
I was going on a coffee sabbatical today, like I only had 1 cup, and I broke down right before stream and made it my second.
Like I said, I haven't had caffeine all week. Like significant amounts of caffeine, and then on the way home I broke down and got this.
Dude, a fucking a Papillon monster sounds amazing. Papillon. But yeah, so I mean, unless anybody else says anything with it, then I'm gonna find a stump or a log or something and sit down on
A chair.
I don't just carry a chair around. I'm gonna start doing that. Next time we go to a city, I'm just gonna buy a folding chair I can keep on my back. I have my own. I can just pop out. So it'll be more like finding, a felled tree or something like that, a log that I can sit on. But it'll be sitting in a way that I can keep my eyes are gonna be focused towards the path mostly, but I also want to be like, eye shot of everybody else too.
Yeah, plenty of fallen logs, some rocks that are like large enough so you can sit on. And night goes by without any issue. Every once in a while, again, another group comes passing by, but that's kind of all the excitement that happens. Everyone wakes up in the morning. The sun is shining heavily in every. Oh, why is this? What happened?
It ended, and then I got network error.
Yeah, my internet's dropping frames again.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Are you gonna get a coffee?
No, I'm gonna go to the children.
Oh.
They're fighting.
Yeah, so now it's showing.
Nope. Think I see us back?
Yeah, it's back, but it's like running like shit right now.
You need to update Windows again.
Apparently so. I don't see any updates, but TikTok's still going though. It's probably gonna be super choppy again too, I assume.
Oh yeah, it is. It's like 1 frame a second.
God.
Yeah, like I'm looking at this and it's like drop frames, 1495, 1515, 1534, 1554. I'm dropping like 20 frames out of the 29 frames per second that it runs at.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's smoother. I move. I'm waiting for the stream to catch up for me moving.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
It looks smooth now.
Still dropping frames just like crazy.
Really? I mean, yeah, I'd say you're running about 20 frames a second now, though.
Still looks like it's dropping 20 frames a second, so I don't know what the hell it's doing.
Oh, I forgot. Mobile doesn't have the options of desktop. I can't tell you how many frames a second I'm getting.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me try cutting it off and then cut it back on here. Okay. Alright, looks like we're back.
And I gotta refresh.
Okay.
Excuse you.
Looks like we're back across the board. I'm showing green. From sending these 4,000 by 4,000 images.
These ones have been 2, I think.
2 by 2?
I think so.
2,000 by 2,000 is the max recommended size for any image through Fantasy Grounds.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta relaunch Twitch now. There we go. Oh?
And now I gotta check on Twitch. Did it reset the title back to 4?
No, you're at 5.
Nope.
You're at 5.
What about?
And we're at decent frame rate.
I mean, it should be.
Wouldn't be one of your streams without some sort of issue.
I don't understand why this happens to me. Still says 5 on there. Hey, we're good to go. Okay.
All right. Y'all awaken.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. Come on, go away. Thank you. Yeah. What is this again? I get it, but why? Okay. Yeah.
Anyone planning on doing anything different this day?
Not really. No, I'd say. I mean, I would make some small talk walking, just chit chat with Luna because someone doesn't do talking, small talk. So I got to talk to the one person that will talk. And then just while we walk, small talk, and then there's times of silence because
No arguments here with doing the whole small talking, but you might get some sass.
Fine. So if you have any questions, he's willing to answer for the most part.
Is there anything of note that we would see during this day's travel? Like, my thing is, for any of these days, it'll be sort of BAU normal travel unless something is presented differently. So if there's any settlements or anything that we come across, if there's any of these, like that large caravan that you said was in front of us, like if we see like that, like that may be something interesting to explore. But otherwise, I mean, if the day is normal, then it's going to be BAU for travel.
Okay. As you guys all set out, behind you, you see another group of like 5 or 6 people still walking in the same direction. All night and all throughout your travel today, still no one walking in the opposite direction though. Everyone give me a perception check. I mean, another one.
Another
one. Yeah, everyone's picking up on this except for Luna. How everybody and everything you see seems to be heading west. Not as many ships going in this direction that you've seen before, but still like 1 or 2 throughout the day. Lumino, you being on the lookout for anything, any kind of structures or stall or something. You do notice some areas that seem to be flattened out and heavily walked upon. It looks like there were stalls or some kind of tent or something, and it's like a lot of the area that you walk today, it looks like there were some things set up that seem to have been picked up relatively recently and moved.
Through any of your guys' chit chat, have either one of you two alluded to knowing anything about where we're at?
I would feel like I'd be the last person to know where we're at.
I feel like
You.
Fireboy would be the last one to know.
Yes, I come from a castle. This is not my forte. Notice I have a +0 in perception. I don't gotta look out for shit. Other people look out for shit for me.
If neither one of them would say anything for it, I mean, I would just kind of call it out as I see it. Like, this area looks like used to be settled upon.
Now, Sin, whereabouts are we talking that we saw this? Like this area here?
Yeah, like halfway through.
Okay.
You know,
You see,
is this near like the water, or is this on the opposite side of the path?
More so near the water. And you've seen this as soon as you started walking today. Um, Being on the lookout for stuff like this, you did notice it more today. There might have been some the previous day, but you're actually making a mental note of it today.
I've seen
I
a few of these throughout our travel.
how many people I've seen constantly traveling, it would make sense that there would be some sort of stalls here. I mean, you got to go where the money is. If people are always making this trip, as it looks, there must be a market of some sorts. I know some people would probably be underprepared for travel.
I feel like I'm like knelt down, like touching the sand or something at this point, and kind of like let the grains of it run through my fingers while looking off to the coast.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how much of this landscape has changed. Do you think that there may have been villages set up here, and maybe the water consumed them?
I don't know if my 14's good enough to see this. Would I going off of that 14, would I know how recently this looks like it would have been moved, or is it look at what he's saying where the tides would have rose enough where they would overtake or do you need another roll for me?
No. So as Lumino points out the areas that he's seeing, you go over and now that you're paying attention to the specific spot that he's pointing out, you do notice it too. And both of you notice that, like, when you're feeling around in the sand, the areas that look like they had stalls or tents or something, the ground there is a lot more compact than some of the sands around it. But it doesn't look hardened, so you both can assume it's been relatively recently. No real sign of like tides making up to this point though.
This looks too fresh to be taken over by water. But knowing roughly when we left, would I know like if it's midweek or like about to be the start of a new week type of thing right now?
Today would be a Friday. So
But what about in game?
it's good. It's about to be like the end of the week.
Okay. Maybe this is something that it's set up earlier in the week and then and whatever phrasing that would make sense in this scenario. And that only happens to and they tear it down every week. If that makes sense.
Is that common?
I'm not from around these parts. I couldn't tell you.
Seems like a lot of effort to tear down a shelter.
Not necessarily a shelter, I would think. Maybe like you're saying, like a stall. It wouldn't. I don't think it'd be that hard, would it? He has no clue how hard it is to set up or take down a stall, by the way. Absolutely no clue.
Yeah, just tell someone to do it. It's easy.
Exactly. Actually, not even that. It'd be like, oh, hey, there's stalls around here.
Yeah, I guess with that, just sort of
I was already on.
Hey.
Oh, God.
So looking around these flat parts, like, is there anything that I see that may have been left behind that would be worth noting, either of perceived value or something that maybe could be used to help, like, identify what was here or who was here?
You don't notice anything in the first one that you've been inspecting, and as you travel along a little bit more, you notice another one of the spots, and this one has like, looks like it had like a recently used fire pit, and you notice one across from the one with the fire pit with like a circular logs, just logs all placed in a circle. Nothing really of value left, just you can tell that these were not necessarily lived in, but some people did take shelter here or camp or something. And it's not like it was just for a single night.
I'll sort of relay that over of like my feelings towards it, but obviously I don't know shit about this. Ignis doesn't know shit about this. Luna doesn't know shit about this. So.
I feel like while you guys are all like searching for this, I'm over there looking for clams.
Both of them, they're just talking out of our ass, like, this makes sense to us.
This,
right? Right? I mean, it's not that hard to set up a stall, is it?
Luna, give me a nature roll. And see how your clams go.
Oh.
You got a dirty bucket or a pot full of clams.
I have a bucket, remember?
Oh yeah, you have a bucket now.
Uh-huh.
So you all keep traveling, and halfway through the day, the sun's up in the air, starts going down. You actually start seeing people camped out in the foliage.
I'll go run up in there and scare them. Not gonna do that.
Yeah, like sun's starting to go down now.
Cliff?
Oh, there goes stream.
Yep, it is back now. Perfect. Nope, never mind. Not perfect. See, I'm getting notifications that we're having like service issues.
Lovely.
I'm assuming that's what it is.
I mean, nothing against Juice, and at least this isn't main campaign night.
Damn.
Well,